Asking the right way is the difference between getting more or getting ignored. Hi ladies, welcome back to the Feminine Universe. I am so happy to have you here. You've probably noticed that there are women who just accept whatever life gives them. And then there are women who get exactly what they want. And one of the biggest differences between these two groups of women is not looks or titles, it's knowing how to ask for more the right way and not just hoping and wishing for it. Contrary to popular belief, this does not automatically happen with a certain level of status. I know high-powered women who no one likes and no one wants to help, and gorgeous women who get treated horribly in relationships. So while having those things are great, you need to know how to communicate in a way that people respond to positively and how to advocate for yourself effectively, both verbally and non-verbally. And today I'm going to teach you 5 different ways to start getting those positive responses, because I see 2 major mistakes happen all the time when it comes to asking. Some women are just afraid to ask for anything at all. To them, it feels greedy, it feels like too much, it's too forward, and they think you should just be grateful for whatever you get. And then there are the women who do ask, but they ask in a way that either comes across as needy and desperate or as demanding and entitled. And either version of that makes people uncomfortable and can cause them to pull away or shut down completely. But when you learn to ask the right way, you don't just get more, you get people to actually enjoy giving to you. And if they enjoy it, it means they're more likely to do it again. And I know that might sound a little unrealistic or exaggerated if you haven't experienced it yet, but stick with me while I break it down before you make up your mind. If you're ready to stop being afraid to ask for more and to learn how to do it in a way that makes people want to give to you over and over, let's get started. So to be very clear with you, there are actually 2 levels to getting more of what you want. What you ask for without saying a word through your actions and behavior, and what you ask for out loud by strategically using your words. These levels work best together, and each of these will be their own video. But right now, we are going to focus on some direct and indirect verbal techniques. And the first one is to state your preferences more. People can't give you what you want if they don't know what you want. So make sure you are stating your preferences clearly and often, because many times we are so focused on saying what we don't want and what we won't accept that we forget to mention what we do want, what we like, what makes us happy. If I asked people who know you what your top 3 favorite things are, they should be able to tell me without hesitation. If they can't, you are not being clear enough. Share things that you love openly. Maybe it's a bakery, a type of chocolate, your favorite pick-me-up treat when you're having a bad day. That way, if you ever say you're having a bad day, people actually have an idea of exactly what to do or what to get you as a pick-me-up. I haven't bought stationery in years because everyone who knows me, and probably many people who've been on this channel for a while, know I live in the Stone Age. I am a pen and paper girly. I always mention that I prefer to write things down. I always have a planner and little notebooks and things like that. And so people who know me will even bring back cute notebooks and pens from their trips as gifts. When it comes to getting more from relationships and interactions, repetition and clarity matter. And when you normalize this in small things, it becomes natural with bigger things. You actually want to open that door with smaller things and not just go from being totally silent to talking about handbags that cost thousands of dollars every day. The second technique is learn how to say thank you. My grandmother always said, how you say thank you will determine how much more you get in the future. If you are unappreciative, dismissive, or stingy with your gratitude, you severely limit what comes your way in the future. So whether you get a compliment, a favor, or a gift, never underestimate the power of a heartfelt thank you. You don't have to go overboard or anything. Just look up from what you're doing, give them your direct attention, and say thank you so much. I really appreciate that. In other instances, you can send a thank you note when appropriate. If someone sends you flowers, maybe you take a picture with the flowers, send it to them in a message that says, I love these, thank you. If someone helps you out at work, give them a little public praise and recognition. When you compliment people around others, it raises their standing, it makes them look good and feel good. And when things feel good for us, we want to do them again. So thanking people in a way that makes them feel good and appreciated will make them want to do more for you. And then there's one thing you never want to accidentally do while you're saying thank you. And that leads us to technique number 3, where people really tend to fumble and ruin their future chances without realizing it. And that is to be wise about timing. There are 2 important things you need to understand about timing. First, it's realizing that when you are saying thank you, you are only saying thank you. That is not the time to correct, to suggest, or to ask for more. I don't think some people realize how big of a mistake this is. Think of it this way. How would you feel if you won the lottery and decided to surprise your mom with a car? And before she's even finished saying the words thank you, she's saying, this is cute. I would have loved a red convertible, but I like this one too. Or she says, for the next car you buy me in a couple of years, I really want a white SUV. And you're like, ma'am, you've barely fully acknowledged what I just did, and you're already telling me what you want next or what you would have wanted instead. It just wouldn't feel great. There is a time and place to ask for your specific wants. Like if someone asks you with your birthday or anniversary coming up, what would you like? That's a perfect time. Of course, you still have to be reasonable within their means. But what I'm saying is when you're thanking someone, stay present and fully acknowledge what's already been done in that moment. Second, when it comes to timing, is respect that person's individual timing. Your friends, your coworkers, and your man all have their own rhythms and schedules. Some people are morning people. Some are more receptive later in the day. Some should be left alone until they've had their coffee. You also never know what someone is going through that particular day or in that particular moment. And asking someone for a favor or anything else at a bad time can be one of the biggest differences between getting a yes and getting a no. So whenever you can, try to confirm that you're catching them at a good time. Just try to be more mindful of timing and your asks will land better. Technique number 4 is request, don't demand. Learning to state what you want without sounding demanding is key. Even for something simple, like at a restaurant, instead of saying, I need a different table, I would say something more like, would it be possible to switch tables? Or I'd like a different table, please. There's a bit of a draft here. There is just a certain tone that people respond to well, and a certain tone they respond to poorly, even when what you're asking for is perfectly reasonable. In relationships, saying something like, it's ridiculous how long it's been since our last date night, you need to plan something, is going to be way less effective than, life has been so hectic lately. It's been a while since our last date night. I'd love to do something next Friday. Do you think you could plan that? You see, letting people feel respected and involved in the process when possible dramatically increases the likelihood of getting what you want, because you stay in the side of we're on the same team rather than we are adversaries. And lastly, the 5th technique is to make it beneficial and remember to reciprocate. As humans, we are inclined to repeat things that are beneficial to us. So whenever possible, make doing things for you rewarding for others. one of my secret weapons in life is to always try to make things a win-win situation when I can. Like if someone lends you their car, return it with a full tank even though they gave it to you at half. You see, that's how you take an exchange from neutral to them saying, I'm actually glad I did that. Also, recognize people's efforts and show appreciation even for things they should do. When people feel valued, they're more likely to go above and beyond. Think about how many people leave jobs where they don't feel appreciated for jobs where they just get a little more recognition. Also, remember to reciprocate in some way. If you only take and never give back, even the most giving people will eventually cut you off and move on from you. And this is why you'll notice people who tend to ask for a lot but not pour into others at all usually have to move from relationship to relationship and from friend group to friend group, because self-respecting people will get tired of their antics. Even the most giving people don't want to feel used. They may not even need you to put in as much as they do, but they do want to be considered and feel appreciated. This applies to romantic relationships, friendships, and professional environments. So as you're entering your ask for more phase, just remember putting effort into others ensures the cycle of generosity around you continues instead of ending up at a dead end. And those are just a few of the ways you can use your words directly and indirectly to start asking for more and to keep the generosity flowing. Now, if you want to learn the next level of this, which is getting more without saying a word, how the way you show up in situations can influence the behavior and actions of others, write soft influence in the comments and I'd be happy to show you. At the end of the day, you don't get more just by wishing for it. You get more by knowing what you want and by knowing how to ask for it. It's about having preferences and stating them often, expressing appropriate thanks and appreciation, timing your words wisely, requesting instead of demanding, making it beneficial for others, and remembering to reciprocate. When you do this, people begin to associate positive feelings with giving to you and doing for you, and they become more likely to do things without you asking and to do the things you ask for more often and more enthusiastically. So on your journey to getting more out of life, socially, romantically, and professionally, remember there is nothing wrong with wanting more or asking for it, but always aim to do it the right way, so abundance and generosity continue to flow your way uninterrupted. Until next time, ladies, stay feminine, stay focused, and have fun.